"May I do this?" A woman sitting across from me at a party said that to me. Caught off guard by her invitation, I was baffled, but she seemed resolute and proceeded with her actions. "My name is Thomas. I'm a high school graduate who started working right away, and I'm an introvert. It's been a while since I graduated, but I usually stay at home. Everyone says I'm odd, but I don't care anymore. I've been hearing that for a long time, and to be honest, I'm used to it. But I wasn't always this introverted. I used to be active and run around outside until I was in elementary, and I even played soccer in middle school. Even though I quit quickly due to lack of talent. My introverted behavior developed because of that guy. In high school, I was in the same class as a guy named Michael. You know the type, right? Someone who naturally attracts people and becomes the center of attention in class. Michael was exactly that kind of guy. In addition to that, he came from a wealthy family, and his parents were doctors. He had excellent grades and was good at sports. He is a perfect guy. Except for one thing. And that's his personality. Being a rich kid, Michael was spoiled and had the worst character, belittling people for fun. In the closed environment of school, this was exacerbated, and his demeaning actions were often perceived as jokes or entertaining by others. Unfortunately, I became his target. I was quite cheerful in middle school, and I stood out in class. That probably irked Michael. "My grades are better than Thomas's again. You're really dumb." Gradually, Michael started looking down on me whenever he could. And frustratingly, no matter how hard I tried, I could never beat Michael. The only thing I could win was in English. But I lost in every other subject. In class, people arbitrarily decided that Michael and I were competing, and despite my protests, my test scores were publicized. If I scored lower than Michael, I was made a laughingstock, and if it was English, "You must be cheating because you're dumb. Teacher, Thomas is cheating." I would be reported to the teacher. Plus, someone joking around would say, "Thomas, you were peeking to the side during the test," and I had to deal with being watched by the teacher for a while. Of course, I had done nothing wrong, so the suspicion cleared up quickly. You might wonder why I didn't fight back, but fighting back would only add fuel to the fire. "Why are you taking it so seriously? It's hilarious when you get worked up over a joke," they would say and make fun of me even more. That's why I tried not to draw attention. Due to that, my way of thinking became more and more negative, and before I realized it, I became introverted. I found myself reading more and more in the classroom and stopped talking to anyone. But that led to people mocking me, saying, "All he does is read. What a nerd." And when, unfortunately, I won an award for a book report, I was accused of plagiarism and favoritism. Every day was such hell that I felt I might really lose faith in humanity. But there was someone who supported me through all this. "Hey, Thomas." On my way home, someone called out to me at the station. When I looked, a charming high schooler in a blazer was waving at me. Her name is Jessica. She's a classmate who lives in my neighborhood, in fact, very close to my home. Our houses are close, so we often go home together. We go to different high schools, but we sometimes meet at the station like this. She is one of the friends I'm comfortable with. "What's wrong? You look so down. Did someone say something again?" Embarrassingly, I had been venting to Jessica about what had happened at high school. I had to, and I couldn't talk to my parents about it. It was too embarrassing. I was mocked and accused of plagiarism when I won an award for a book report. "You won an award? That's amazing. They must be saying such things out of jealousy. How silly," Jessica said, looking astonished. Jessica always speaks her mind openly, making it easy and relieving for me to talk to her. And she affirms me, who has always been belittled. I have been very comforted by Jessica's existence. Without Jessica, I would probably have lost confidence and stopped going to school. In that sense, I can't thank Jessica enough. But winning an award means you have a talent for writing. Maybe you'll become a writer in the future. No way, only a handful can make it, and besides, I plan to work. I have a younger sister. I wanted to send my sister to college. Honestly, I didn't care much about going to college myself, so I'd rather work and make life a bit more comfortable for my family than spend money on college. Besides, after being toyed with by Michael so much, I had come to detest school itself. College might be a bit different, but you're still a student. That's too bad. What about you, Jessica? What are you planning to do? I'm going to nursing school. I want to be a nurse in the future. Jessica said with a smile. Jessica has a future she wants and is walking towards it. Her figure was dazzling and enviable. 10 years have passed since then. I, as initially planned, started working right after high school. Fortunately, due to my efforts back then, I can now work from home and am leading a fairly comfortable life. I managed to send my sister to college. Of course, Michael mocked me at graduation. Only poor people would be satisfied with just a high school diploma. He laughed, but considering high school graduates as poor is a prejudice. Michael, however, didn't think so at all and was bragging about going to a prestigious medical school. Well, I barely remember anything about him, just that he was a nasty guy. Meanwhile, Jessica enrolled in a nursing school near our hometown. Initially, we kept in touch fairly well, but after Jessica started working, our communications began to fade. She must be busy, and there must be many challenges as a newcomer. Eventually, our relationship became one where we only exchanged New Year greetings, but suddenly, I received a message from Jessica. Apparently, they were organizing a party, but they were short of men, and she asked if I could join. I actually have no interest in a mingle party, but I couldn't refuse my senior. Please, come with me. You don't have to talk to the other girls. You can even just stay in front of me all the time. Apparently, they were one man short for the party, and Jessica seemed to be in trouble. Honestly, I wasn't interested in going to mixers either, but I wanted to see Jessica after such a long time and didn't have a reason to refuse, so I decided to give it a try. The party was held at a city tavern. The female organizer was Jessica, and it seems she brought along her nurse friends. Long time no see, Thomas. Jessica was as lively as ever, but she had become much more beautiful than 10 years ago. Her hair was neatly curled and set, and her makeup subtly highlighted her beauty. Her outfit, a cute button-up blouse with a skirt, was vibrant and cheerful, just like Jessica. It's a world apart from a uniform, even though both are skirts. Jessica, long time, have you been well? I have, Thomas, still as shut-in as always. Yeah, it's been a while since I've even eaten out. We had such a conversation while waiting for the other participants to arrive. The ladies arrived relatively early, followed by the men. I thought I wouldn't know anyone there, but... Hey, is that you, Thomas? To my surprise, one of the participants was Michael. What were the odds? But it seems one of the nurse ladies knew Michael. It's been a while, Michael. Is that really you, Thomas? Still got that poor, dumb look on your face. Even after 10 years, Michael still looked down on me. Seeing this, Jessica whispered, "Is this the guy?" Considering the mood, I responded quietly, "Yeah." Thomas, I'm really sorry. If you're uncomfortable, you don't have to force yourself. Jessica looked genuinely apologetic, so I tried to play it cool to avoid making her feel bad. But inside, I had a bad feeling. I was looking forward to seeing Jessica at the party, but sadly my bad feeling was soon realized. So this guy's a fool, got caught cheating and all. That's why he flunked college and only has a high school diploma. Introductions and casual conversations were supposed to begin over drinks, but instead, Michael became outright condescending, just to flaunt his educational background. Moreover, he didn't hesitate to exaggerate and include things that never happened. It was so full of lies that it was tiring just to deny them. Michael, now a doctor, bragged about whether to start his practice or move to a prestigious hospital. The ladies around, wanting to be liked by a high-earning, highly educated Michael, laughed at his stories. It was just like high school. Except for one person. Jessica was glaring at Michael with a discontented look. That alone made me happy. Arguing back would only fuel his arrogance, and I'm just there to make up the numbers. I'll just go with the flow, playing the role of the life of the party. That's what I thought. Suddenly, someone nudged my leg. When I looked, Jessica, sitting across from me, was looking my way. "Hey, why aren't you saying anything?" she whispered softly. "If I retort, it'll just backfire. I'm feeling uncomfortable here." Jessica was clearly discontent. But I still didn't feel like retaliating. In the past, retaliating only left me feeling empty. Can I retaliate then? Huh? Please, just this once. It seems that a disparaging remark had truly irked me. With alcohol fueling her momentum, Jessica stood up on the spot without waiting for my permission. "Michael, what is your problem?" "That was rude." "Rude? It's the truth. You are." "Jessica, I went to high school with this guy. He had worse grades than me, wasn't very bright, and he's just a hopeless guy who can barely make a living with just a high school diploma. You really don't know, do you? Even though you are a doctor, Thomas earns way more and is more popular." Jessica dropped this bomb, and I was left dumbfounded. I had planned to stay quiet since I didn't want to draw attention. I tried to stop her, but Jessica was unstoppable. And so was Michael. "What, huh? What are you talking about? Don't you read? Thomas is an author under the pen name Timothy." As soon as the name Timothy was mentioned, everyone, including Michael, fell silent with their mouths open. Timothy is an author who appeared about 5 years ago, known for writing dark works portraying the deep and dark human psyche. His unique writing style and deep narratives have attracted a lot of followers. Especially popular among young people, he's a renowned author who has received numerous awards. Well, that's what TV and magazines say. I don't think so, though. It's just description that can be written because he lacks literary talent. It just happened to hit the jackpot, and it's criticized by those who love pure literature. Timothy. I heard he rarely shows his face on TV or in magazines. One of the female participants exclaimed in disbelief. Indeed, I disliked standing out and avoided showing my face as much as possible. But it seems someone had found one of my rare photos, and they were comparing the photo on their cell phones to me. Wow, it's really him. Awesome, I'm a fan. The moment my true identity was revealed, the participants flipped. I became the center of attention. Michael was trembling as he looked at me. No way, just a dumb high school grad. The real fool is you, who judges people by their educational background and grades and can't see what truly matters. Jessica said this and came over to pull my hand. Thomas prefers to stay out of the limelight, so we will be leaving now. Feel free to do as you please. I only participated because I was asked by a senior. I don't want to share the air with such a lowly man. Jessica said this and dragged me out. Honestly, I wanted to escape from there, so it was perfect. Phew, I feel relieved. We walked a bit away from the bar, and she finally let go of my hand. Jessica was smiling happily, and she looked really pleased. You're happier than I am, the person involved. Why are you so happy? Because you've been working so hard, and seeing that belittled made me upset, so being able to say what I wanted felt refreshing. Jessica and I kept in touch for a while. She knew about my writing activities, and she was happy when I decided to publish a novel. I could keep going because of you, Jessica. What? Remember, a long time ago, you said I could become a writer. I didn't believe it then, but it made me want to try harder. I wanted to be by the radiant Jessica, stepping into the future, so I started writing while working and applied to open calls. That's how I managed to make a living, but I wouldn't have taken this path without Jessica's words. So, haha, I could be of help to Thomas. You've been helping me since a long time ago. Really? Haha, this is embarrassing. Jessica said, blushing. It seems a message has arrived on Jessica's phone, and she pulls it out of her purse. However, in doing so, she snags something inside her bag, causing items to tumble out. Drops something. Oh, what had fallen was a book. It was a collection of short stories by a budding author, my first piece after debuting. At this time, however, I was still unknown, even using a different pen name. The works from this time aren't interesting at all, and I changed my pen name because I didn't want them to be associated with me. Even fans of Timothy wouldn't likely come across this work. As I picked it up, she started to panic. Oh, that's not it. I'm not like a fan or anything. A friend just lent it to me. She struggled to find an excuse, but eventually gave up and admitted, seeming embarrassed, actually, I've loved Thomas's works. I've been following you since before your debut. I had only told her the names of my works after I became substantially popular. It was embarrassing to think of acquaintances reading them. Apparently, Jessica was just a fan of the works at first, without knowing I wrote them, but found it hard to say once she found out. So, that was it. Surprised to have a longtime fan so close by. Stop teasing, Jessica said, pouting, but she was holding the book carefully in her hand. Since then, Jessica and I started to contact each other more frequently. She would even report to me when she bought my new releases, which was a bit embarrassing. But being able to see a reader's reaction immediately is invaluable. In my latest work, I featured a woman modeled after Jessica. A childhood friend of the protagonist, who, despite various difficulties, eventually gets together with him. For me, it's quite a different atmosphere from my previous works. Wonder what you will say after reading it. Would she notice my roundabout confession? There was such anxiety, but it's so like Thomas, really. Meeting at a cafe on her day off, Jessica had brought my new book, looking somewhat exasperated. This is about me, isn't it? Too obvious. Haha, well spotted, loyal fan. So, can I have your response? Making me say it, that's unfair. Saying so, she pursed her lips and said, I love you. You know it. What about you, Thomas? Asking my feelings again. Usually a recluse writing novels, I decide to be sincere at times like this. Of course, I love you too. Not in writing, but in words, I told her so.